Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Malinga Sise of Urban Harvest Organic Farm. For all of you who have subscribed to my YouTube channel, I am so grateful. And for those who are still new, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. Today I'm super excited. First of all, it has been raining since morning up to now. The place is still very wet. The place is still very cold, and we thank God for the rain. And we are going to talk about brooding of our chicks. From the very first day you bring them into the brooder up to the last day they will leave that brooder. And I want us to brood these birds organically without using any modern medicine. And then we shall also look at the tips to consider, or factors to consider, to make that brooding successful. I have so many of you who have already started, the farm. Some of you, your birds are even soon starting to lay, and most of you are still planning to start this project. That is why I decided to respond to this particular topic that some of you requested me to make, to talk about brooding today. So for today, stick around till the end. But if you're still new, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. Click on the notification bell so that you never miss out any upload. Share this video, comment in the comment section down below, and I'll be so grateful. See you right back. So as I told you earlier on, today we are talking about brooding, and we are going to brood our chicks organically. And then we shall also look at the tips to consider as beginners to become successful in brooding. Okay, now the first and foremost, I want you to first research about the company that you're going to bring your birds from before you book for the birds, or before you pay money to anyone. Please research about those companies very well, because I've had cases where people are complaining that they paid their money and people ended up running away with their money. So please try to look for authentic suppliers. And then another thing, research about the breed of the chicks that you want to bring. Some of these birds, I've not met those ones, but people say they are not disease resistant, they don't lay well. Currently, I have the Lomond Brown, which is doing perfectly well for me. And then I've also had Issa Brown, which was really doing perfectly well for me. So make sure that you research about the breed of those birds. And then for those who are in Uganda, please book for the birds early enough. Because here, you will book for if you want to start the project, let's say next month, you should have booked for those birds 2 months ago. Because that is what normally happens. You go to book for the birds and they give you, let's say, 3 months ahead, 2 months ahead. That is so disappointing for someone who do not know the system. So please make sure that you book for these birds early enough so that you don't get disappointed. And then now, if we come to our brooder, after now doing the booking and after now researching about the breeds that you want to bring, now we are left with organizing the brooder. The brooder must be organized early enough before you bring in the chicks inside there. First of all, heat the house. Make sure there's a source of heat there, like 6 hours before you bring in the chicks. And then another thing, make sure that you arrange all the drinkers and feeders ready to welcome those chicks. And then in the drinkers, instead of putting vitamins and glucose, pound your fresh ginger very well. Put there 20 ml in 1 liter of water and put for those birds. And make sure that they use it, they drink it. You will give them like that for 5 days. We used to also put liquid paraffin in their drinking water to avoid constipation. Please, this time, don't use the liquid paraffin. Use the ginger for the first 5 days. That ginger is going to help them boost on their immunity, boost on their appetite. Even if maybe it is cold, it will warm them up. So please, that is what I want you to do as a beginner. And then another thing that I forgot to tell you in the beginning, if possible, arrange or plan for your farm very well so that you do the brooding during the dry season. Because as a beginner, it will be very tricky sometimes to do this brooding during the rainy season, because the weather will be very cold, and sometimes if it is too cold for these birds and you're not warming the house very well, they will end up getting pneumonia, they will end up even dying. So please, if possible, plan for your brooding early enough before the rainy season so that you end up brooding your chicks in the dry season. Now, back to the brooder. Inside the brooder, make sure you arrange feeds which is good for those chicks. Personally, I put here pellets. For the first 4 weeks, I normally give them pellets. Most farmers complain that pellets is expensive, but me, I prefer using pellets. And if you use pellets, guys, trust me that those birds will come out very, very well. Now, after that, you will go and bring the birds, but make sure you come with the vaccination schedule and the feeding timetable for those chicks. Guys, I will still encourage you to vaccinate the birds, because currently in my farm I'm still doing the vaccination, because I don't want us to risk. This is the lot of money that we shall invest in this project. It is only the next flock that we are going to bring, and we shall demonstrate by not vaccinating them. But I will still tell you, please let us vaccinate the birds. So come with a vaccination schedule from that company, come with a feeding timetable, because these birds need to eat enough feeds on a daily basis. And then another thing, make sure that there is source of light in that brooder, and the source of light should be for 24 hours. If you're going to bring the birds in a place where there's no source of light, please look for the lamps, look for solar, make sure the source of light is there 24/7. And then another thing, make sure that the heat inside the brooder is balanced very well. If you see birds, let's say, accumulating in one particular corner, just know that the heat is not well balanced inside the brooder. Make sure that the heat is well balanced, in that all the birds are, scattered and eating freely and playing around. So that is also very important. And then also another thing is that make sure that you put in the brooding peppers inside that brooder. Do not allow your chicks to be on coffee husk or wood shavings on the first day that they come inside the farm, because they will end up eating those things. Now, like me in my other flocks, I end up losing so many birds. Actually, remember one of the flocks, I lost over 150 chicks, because you could touch around the crop here and you'll find that the seeds of the coffee is stuck there. When those chicks swallow those seeds of coffee, trust me that it will not be able to survive. That chick will die. So make sure that you put in the brooding peppers, because the first day they don't know which one is feeds, which one is which. So if you put in the coffee as straight, trust me, you lose so many birds. So make sure there's brooding pepper inside the farm for at least the first 4 to 5 days. Okay. And then another thing, make sure that the feeders are always with feeds 24/7 when those chicks are still young. Then make sure that you weigh those birds every week. Do the weighing of the birds. The weighing will help you in a way that you will know whether you're giving them the right amount of feeds. You will know whether your birds are coming out very well. Because if those birds are not well taken care of in the brooder, trust me, they will end up not laying eggs well. So that is why weighing is also very, very important. Even in that timetable, by the way, it will show you the weight of the birds per week. So make sure that the feeding timetable, you have it with you. Now, the first week we said we are going to give ginger for 5 days. The second week we shall give them charcoal. Pound charcoal very, very well, because in the second week I'm expecting that these birds might maybe have coccidiosis or what. Please pound the charcoal very, very soft, sieve it, mix with drinking water, give them when it's conk, let them drink it for 5 days. Those birds will not suffer from coccidiosis. In the third week, I want us to give them the papaya leaves. Papaya leaves, maybe we shall even mix it with guava leaves. Let's pound these two things or blend it, mix it with their drinking water, and give them also for like 3 days. That is also enough. In the fourth week, we are going to give these birds ginger mixed with garlic. Let us pound the ginger and the garlic. We mix also with their drinking water. And these herbal remedies are really so many. I want us to at least have 5 of them around us, and we keep on balancing on giving these birds. Guys, these herbal remedies are going to really help these birds, and it will raise them very, very well. I've had so many testimonies from you how you're really using the herbal remedies and it is really working for you. These herbal remedies will help our birds. Whenever you do vaccination, please make sure you do vaccination how it is written in the vaccination schedule. Whenever you do the vaccination, you can give them the ginger water for like 2 days or 3 days. please make sure that we follow these things and we be consistent. Let us try to be consistent from the first day we bring in the birds. When those birds get diarrhea, please make sure you pound the charcoal. Make sure you pound it if you don't have the blender or you don't have the grinder. Pound the charcoal very well. Mix it with the drinking water, because when they are still young, they will not be able maybe to peck on the charcoal. Mix it with the drinking water. Make it a bit concentrated. You know with charcoal it is tasteless. Make it, you really see it is thick. Give them to take for 5 days. You will not see any diarrhea. You will not see any coccidiosis. You will not see any bad dropping. Immediately it will change. And then also, if they get, let's say, flu and cough, let us pound the ginger, let us pound the garlic. We can mix those two, or we can even put the papaya leaves, or we can pound the guava leaves. Give it to the birds. Trust me, all the sneezing and whatsoever will disappear. Please, let us try to be consistent with using these herbal remedies. In that way, we shall save these birds, we shall boost on the immunity. These birds will grow well and they will lay very, very well. Now, after the 4th week, you're going to remove them from the brooder and maybe put them in the main farm. But some of us will use the same farm for brooding the birds. Now, make sure when those birds go in the main farm, the house should be 4 birds in 1 square meter. That is the measurement for the chicken house. 4 birds in 1 square meter. In that way, your birds are going to perform perfectly well. The house will be very well. And the litter should at least be 6 inches down. Actually, from 4 to 6 inches down. If someone cannot afford up to 6, make it at least 4 inches down. In that, if you put your finger down, it is at least 4 inches. So make sure that is there, and make sure the birds are comfortable inside there. In the first, let's say the first 5 weeks, it will be tricky for you to switch off those lights. I've heard people, they were telling me, whenever they try to switch off lights, they find so many birds have died. Sometimes they find 1 has died, 2 have died, because in the brooder they were used to light. So this time when you start switching off the lights, there's a way they are getting scared. So make sure that you will put on you will switch off the lights, not at once, but you can switch off, you bring it back, like you'll make them get used to that system of switching off the lights. And then from now that is when you start giving them the growers mash. That one you can mix the feeds, or you can give them also pellets. That one now is upon you and upon your pocket. And then make sure that when they also go to the main farm, you put for them enough feeders there and enough drinkers there, and you also give them the right amount of feeds. Okay, in that way our birds will really come out well. We shall really enjoy this project. Please, with the herbal remedies, if you're using it, try to be consistent. If you give them this week, you give them the papaya leaves, let them rest like for 3 days or 4 days. Give them the pumpkin leaves, let them rest. Give them the ginger, let them rest. Give them the guava leaves, let them rest. These are like food supplements. Okay, these are just food supplements to them. Ideally, it is even not medicine, it is just food supplement. It's just like someone is eating greens. So you can even decide to give them every day, but for sometimes you might not be able to get them every day. That's why you say you can rest like for 3 days or 4 days. Give them plain water, then you give them this other one. You can keep on interchanging. So for today, that is all I had for you. I've done a lot of over talking, but please let us follow this herbal remedies. In that way, we shall enjoy this project, because today my birds are performing well. I don't have any outbreak because of using these herbal remedies. So that is why I said let us all embrace the use of this herbal remedies. So for today, that is all I had for you. But if you're still new, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. Click on the notification bell so that you never miss out any upload. Share this video, comment in the comment section down below, and I'll be so grateful. See you next time. Love you all. Bye bye.